Frog farmers got rolled back. Did it happen already? I'm so afraid to log in. Oh my god. All right. Let me go ahead. Let me get in here. World of Warcraft. Let's try it out. Let's see if I got rolled back. All right. All right, y'all ready? I'm gonna check the VOD. Does it show how many health I am? Oh, hey. Wait. Yo, bro, I have 1.6 million. Wait, I got nerfed. Because there's no buffs. The buffs? Oh, wait, because I don't know if I mouse over my cloak or not. I want to find a place where I mouse over my cloak. Maybe like at the very beginning, I'll probably log on and mouse over the cloak, right? Okay, yeah, it says 13,000 stamina. So wait, what? Wait, so my stamina went up, but my health went down. What? Ah, it took out some of my gems? Wait. It took out my gems. That's why. My gear got ungemmed. Give me a minute. Let me put my gems in. Where the mastery at? There it is. Okay, so now I'm at... Okay. Gentlemen. Oh, I thought they was gonna get me. They didn't get me. Oh, they didn't get me. Stupid ass Blizzard. Didn't know what the fuck happened. Alright, great. Yeah, there it is. Holy shit. I mean, to be fair, right? So, like, this shit was going crazy. Because, like, right now, I'm at 1.5 million, right? There are people whose pets out-damaged everybody else in the whole raid. Like, we had that one hunter in there. That guy was a fucking... Like, I mean, let's be real, right? And so... Yeah, and so... You can get 40k free bronze, maybe, anyway? Yeah, I probably should try to do that. I'm gonna look into that in a minute, but like, okay, so basically, I abused the frogs, I didn't get rolled back, which makes sense. I think that's fair, because I'm a streamer. Streamers should obviously have different rules than normal, like, you know, poor people, and so it just makes sense, that I wouldn't get rolled back. It's just, yeah, it just makes sense. And so, anyway, yeah, there you go. And so it looks like everybody else is going to have to refarm again, but that's just the way it goes, guys. Stats got dropped to 2.5k if above it. Yeah, mine were not above 2.5k. So, again, gentlemen, you know, a very good day for me. And so anyway, this is kind of what happened. I'll go ahead and I'll pull up what's going on here. So Blizzard had... you guys might not believe this, but Blizzard actually fucked up with something with the scaling of system in the game. And so we've got the improvements of WoW Remix that's rolling out today. Players who gained a large advantage in farming gulp frogs will have their power diminished. Players who did not will not be eligible. Players who did. Oh, okay. Players who did not take advantage of the farming will be eligible to receive 40,000 bronze. Okay, so I took advantage of it and I get 40,000 bronze. I think that's what makes sense again, right? Yeah, of course. And so, anyway, Blizzard fucked this up. Now, is this what Blizzard should have done? Well, let me show you guys this. So, here's the situation. Yesterday, somebody in this game went so fucking far that they maxed out. They said the cloak had infinite potential. And you know what they said? They said bet. And they farmed it the fuck out. And apparently there is a cap. That cap is 200,000 stamina. That's right, gentlemen. The Cloak of Infinite Potential is not infinite. It just has 200,000 stamina with 20,000 of every single stat. I want to see this guy in a raid. I do too. Yeah, bro, actually, I don't want... Anywhere he is the raid. And he did not show any gameplay with it. I'm very, very, very upset about this. I am mad. Oh my god. Yeah, what is this? Today we skipped it. Yeah, I guess so. And, Cloak of Finite Potential? Yeah, I know. And so anyway, this is what happened. And yeah, it should be times the 64-bit integer limit, which is, what's this, like, 9 quadrillion, I think. So yeah, that's probably just like a medium-sized damage attack in Diablo 3. And so we've got right here, Remix Consumable. So he has, with the Bone Shield and the Consumable, he has 15 million health. That's right. You thought 6 million health was a lot? It's not. Try 15 million. Yeah. What a god. Exactly what happened to Season of Discovery. I think a lot of people are wondering that. But those are his stats right here. Take a look at this. That's where he started out. And that's where he's at with the cloak. Critical strike all the time. Haste, of course. Mastery, double time. Versatility, 113%. He doesn't take damage, bro. He turned that shit off. Yeah, look at this. Actual raid boss? Yeah, exactly. This is it. Leech, 49%. Speed, 49%. Parry, 67%. He parries everything. And so anyway, that's where we're at, guys. There it is. He reflects damage, yes. He gets healed by attacks. He might as well. He could solo any raid alone. Almost. Probably. I bet he probably could. And so, yeah, there it is. It's not the cloak. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so this is basically the reason why Blizzard felt like they had to nerf it. And I think it does kind of make sense, right? Because, obviously, if Blizzard goes and, you know, lets something like this in the game, they effectively contrive the game around it. Now, should Blizzard have nerfed this and rolled players back? I'm going to have maybe a hot take on this, okay? I think the answer is no. I don't think they should have rolled players back. I'll read the post that was made. Monitoring the impact of the Gulp Frog. Whilst working to respond to player feedback, bronze acquisition. Small number of players received an extreme advantage to this distorted gameplay experience for some in WoW Remix. We'll adjust characters with an unreasonably large amount of Gulp Frog kills prior to the loot bug fix. And their cloak will be reduced. This change will have a larger impact on players who took advantage of the situation for longer. For everyone who didn't take advantage of the frog farming, we'll be providing 3 additional quests with large bronze rewards. Okay, these milestone quests will be given to you. We believe these milestone quests and the additional bronze that they will grant will make playing Remix more rewarding. So, we'll read a few comments and responses from like the player base. This is horribly tone deaf. Why can't you take an easy win and just slash upgrade costs by 90% and then just double threads rewarded to everybody not flagged by as a frog farmer? You're doing this in an overly convoluted and messy way, and it ultimately does nothing to improve the major areas of concern that the frog farmers have simply shined a spotlight on. Also, there better be plans to fix the cloak not being one-to-one on alts. This is blatant false advertising. True, 8,750 bronze per dungeon and scenario sounds about right. This sounds great on paper. The reality is the cloak is still pretty relevant. 100,000 of bronze you need to farm. Yep, absolutely. What about the alt's cloak being one-to-one? Make this so. Yeah, I think a lot of these people are right. So, how did WoW die? Well, it all started because of some frog farmers. That's right. So, I think that Blizzard is making the right call by changing this, but I think that they're making the wrong call by punishing the players that took advantage of it. The reason why I think they're making the wrong call is because the frog farm has been in the game ever since the game came out. Like, ever since the Timeless Isle came out, people farmed frogs. Like, you can go back and find a video from 12 years ago, and it's going to have people farming frogs. This is the way the game's been forever. So it's not, yeah, it's not a real exploit. Like, what are we talking about? Exploit. No, it's not. How if it's an exploit? Have people been exploiting for 13 or 11? I guess it's 11 years now. No, of course not, right? And so I think, like obviously the guy who did this. Let me see if I can find it. Who did this here, where he was able to like farm out like 1 million of these things. I don't know where it was. He probably did do an exploit. I think that there are exploits, but killing mobs that hyperspawn is not an exploit. It never has been, especially in such a popular zone. So yeah, this guy probably did exploit, but the other ones didn't. It's probably based on dates. If they have a high amount of frog kills past X layer, then they're rolled back. Yeah, I think so. And also, like, I think Blizzard dropped the ball by not saying and just making a statement, hey, by the way, we're considering rolling everybody back, so if you guys are trying to farm a, like, super fast respawn spot, just kind of pump the brakes for a few days and, like, let us figure out what to do. You know, like, and I think that that level of communication really would be super easy, and it probably would have resulted in less people being disappointed. But the real problem with this event... so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what the actual issue with the WoW Remix event is. So I'm going to log on just real quick so you guys can see it and kind of get an idea of like what's going on yourselves. And this is, I mean, again, like I like the fact that Blizzard is taking chances and Blizzard's trying things that are new, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to give like a, you know, an okay to every single thing that they do. But so let's go ahead and look at this real quick and talk about it. So basically the big problem with the WoW Remix event is that the bronze, like basically a player has to make a decision between pursuing goals in the, where's the upgrader? I guess I'm just going to go to the 1.5 hill. I'll talk about it on the way over. So basically the bronze is like the universal currency. Bronze is used for everything. If you want to buy something, you have to use it with bronze. If you want to upgrade a piece of gear, you buy it with bronze. If you want to buy a gem box, you buy it with bronze. Everything is used for bronze. So what people are complaining about is the fact that, and also the way that armor scales. So whenever you have a piece of armor, so like right now, this piece of armor that I have is item level 346, and it has 3,200 stamina. Well, if I had this same piece of gear and it was item level 556, which I think was the normal mode level of Siege of Orgrimmar gear back in the original Mists of Pandaria, if I'm correct on that. Well, actually, it's not if. I am. And so anyway, what do you call it? This gear is just, obviously, it's going to be way better. And the way that the scaling works is it doesn't work, it doesn't work like this. Or sorry, it doesn't work like this. Instead, it works like this. And so what is this number? This number is 96k. So the difference between my chest piece and somebody else's chest piece that fully upgraded is 93,000 stamina. 93,000 stamina. Each stamina correlates to 10 points of health. 93,000, that's 930,000 health for one piece of gear. That's like basically 1 million health that you get. So a lot of people are doing this event, and they're doing the event for this reason. There are tons of little cosmetic bonuses and little cute things that you can buy with bronze. But the problem is that in order to complete the goals that the event puts out for you, you have to upgrade your gear, but in upgrading your gear, you have to forego pursuing the limited seasonal rewards from the event. So the problem is that the two progression paths cannibalize each other. And you have the progression path of upgrading the gear, and then you have the other progression path of buying the cosmetics. So that's what people are frustrated about. Do you see what I'm saying? And I understand, like, obviously, like, Blizzard, now, how should they fix this? I think that they should just cut the upgrade costs in half. Just literally divide it by 2. Like, if it's 50, now it's 25. If it's 150, now it's 75. If it's 1,000, now it's 500. Just do that. And also, here's another factor that's very important. The truth is that this event is a limited time event. It is a 3-month event. It's not like it's going to be going on for, like, you know, 2 years, like an expansion. So it's like, oh, you can just do it over time. So a lot of people that play WoW And especially people that are like, you know, oh, wow, Mr. Pandaria. I remember whenever I used to play that. If you played Mr. Pandaria in college, guess what, man? Now you're fucking 30. And so you probably have a career. You might have a family. You might have a job. You might have other obligations and responsibilities. And guess what? Inside of a 3-month event, it's going to be really hard for you to find the time to go and do that. And I think it makes sense, right? It does. And the event basically has so many different layers, and like it has all of this FOMO, right? There's all of this FOMO. Like, I'm not talking about, like, I mean, these are just like old mounts that you can buy. Like, this is fine. But like these cheap mounts, this is all FOMO. And then you go over here and you've got more appearances, more FOMO. Then you go to this guy, and what do we got here? We got more FOMO. And then you go to this guy. What do you got here? FOMO. Well, actually, that one, to be fair, that is not FOMO. That is actually just objects that were in the game already. I don't know if all of these are... That is FOMO. Yes, that's FOMO. That's new to the game. I think these recolors are also new to the game, but the base item is not. So yeah, more FOMO. And then you have your upgrades, obviously, that you can do. Each one of these is 4,500. And this is also the baseline of gear, which is 346. So, which ironically is the item level of gear that I'm getting in Cataclysm at the same time. However, 346, in order to do one upgrade, I have to spend 4,500. So 4,500, let's go back over to this, is the cost of 2 mounts. You see what I'm saying? And so you're making this decision that feels really bad. And on top of making the decision that feels really bad, it's on a limited time. Like, I think nobody would care about this if it was just something that was going, you know, on forever, right? Like, if this was just like a new event like Classic WoW, nobody would give a shit. But because it's such a limited time event, this is the problem. Who needs gear? Go do Mythic Siege of Orgrimmar, and you're going to find out who. Everybody. Do you think FOMO is that important? If FOMO isn't that important, then why put it in the game? Like, and this is my argument to where, like, oh, well, like, well, it doesn't matter. It's just FOMO. Like, why have the system in the game? If it makes one person feel bad, why not make it better? Because, like, if you say it doesn't matter, then by that logic, it also shouldn't matter if it's changed. You see how I'm saying? And so you can PvE later, cosmetics stay for life. Yeah, and so anyway, FOMO. Oh, FOMO. FOMO is anything in a video game that is a limited time reward that you that encourages you to make a decision or play the game or do something based off of urgency instead of your actual intrinsic interest to play. So it's like, oh, I have to complete this Mythic Plus dungeon and get Keystone Master because the season is ending. And if I don't, then I don't get this mount, right? It's called fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Very, very common. And also, FOMO is not always bad, but the FOMO can become bad when it becomes oppressive, and it creates a, it basically makes people do things they don't want to do. Like, there is a, like, middle ground where, like, FOMO is good. And I think that a lot of games have FOMO that is good, right? It's like, oh, I want to clear the raid before the next tier comes out. That's FOMO. It is. But some of it is good, some of it is bad. And I think that really the more artificial FOMO feels and the more frustrating it is to pursue it, the more annoying it is to do, right? It's bad? Yeah, but everything is FOMO. That's the problem, is like, if you want to say all FOMO is bad, then all marketing is bad, all streams are bad because you can only watch them whenever they're live. Like, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, you paint with such a broad brush that it completely invalidates the conversation. So, yeah, life is FOMO. And so it's really about usage of it and how FOMO is approached by players. And I think that this event right here actually approaches FOMO in a very bad way by making the item upgrades cannibalize the cosmetic upgrades. I don't think that they can go back and make 2 different cosmetic and different, like, currencies that you can use. But what I think they should do is they should dramatically reduce the cost of upgrading. That way players can actually do the upgrades and play their character and feel the power increases, but at the same time, they can also pursue the cosmetics. You have to choose. Yeah, you either have to gear up to get more bronze, or you have to just buy the items outright. You can only watch streams whenever. Yeah, but you can't watch a certain stream, right? Somebody doesn't save the VOD. And, like, also, like, people like watching the stream live because of the spontaneous nature of it, right? So, yeah, that's just the way it is. To participate in chat, yeah, everything like that. I have 5 alts literally just to farm mounts. Yeah, that's silly. It's a silly design. So, yeah, that's basically, that's the situation Blizzard's put themselves in. And, basically, now you have people that are farming that bronze, and they already have full upgraded armor. The difference is fucking massive, right? Oh, and then also the weapon can be upgraded too, and, like, we all know how weapon damage works in WoW. Like, woo, it goes up a lot, right? So, like, the difference of 250 item levels and weapon damage is, or 210, is fucking insane. So, yeah, that's it. I'm not sure what's wrong with having to make choices in games. Well, there are a lot of things that can be wrong with having to make choices. I think that if you distill down, like, it's very easy for somebody to oversimplify something in order to misrepresent what the problem is. And I think that's what you're doing. You are oversimplifying, oh, well, you're just making choices as a player. Yes, obviously you're making choices. But the choice doesn't feel good, and it sucks. That's the difference. It's a reductive statement. Yeah, it's so reductive that it's just completely pointless. So yeah, you do that in every game. And so it's such a broad statement. Yeah, exactly. It scales massively to certain areas. Yeah, exactly. Frog farmers were never a problem, as WoW Remix isn't a competitive version of WoW. The fact that Blizzard is nerfing it is redundant. Well, I do think that they should have nerfed the frog farm. Because the problem is that if you don't nerf things like the frog farm, what ends up happening is that everybody does that, and that's the only thing that happens. In this instance with the choice, it's either the gear to make the bronze farm go faster. It feels bad having to make that kind of choice for a limited event. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Can you explain how most WoW players hated on Kata, yet stop playing on SOD to play Kata Classic? Genuinely confuses me. Because it's new and special, and also a lot of people, like, people can think Kata was shitty, but still want to play it because it's the new content, right? They didn't roll back to 5.6 item levels, so it's not really that much of a rollback here at the end of the day. It's a huge difference by not having, I mean, 200,000 stamina, right? That's massive. But you're right. That's not the whole